There you go.
Yeah, it's recording now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and assemble a syringe. 2.5 and 3.2 milliliters is what I'm supposed to be putting into Frankie, but I'd have to do a second shot from the looks of things, or just push it back at my best estimate, which would be approximately 50% of the way back. Technically it'll handle it, it's just I'd have to eyeball it. And that's, everybody else is talking about precision with time. Where's the injections go? Okay. The syringes are screwing here. Not at the Tractor Supply though. And that's the only place I can get veterinary syringes without a doctor's script. Okay, here's my situation. This is what's left of this $80 CPL drug, which says free sample, but obviously isn't for me. This is, can you see my fingers and what I'm doing with the needle?
Yep.
See the hollow point of the needle? Now, we're supposed to crank it back and put an equal amount of air into that needle. So I'm going to go ahead . I pray to God this is right, and I'm not going to get chewed out online about this. But at the same time, I welcome your critiques, because if I'm hurting Frankie, I need to hear. If I'm buying him $80 vial medicine with my last paycheck that I could be using on bills and rent, you better believe he matters. Now, see how this needle tips up in here? I got it in, it's inserted. Now I'm pulling back slightly. See that air bubble? I'm going to have to push it back in very carefully because I had too much needle in there. Now we're back to just fluid, and I'm pulling out straight fluid. And I apologize because this is boring, and Chrissy, being a responsible mommy, is going to have to get out of here in a minute. Oliver, her son, is not a cat. He will not watch himself. Okay, there's a fluid movement in the vial. Okay, we got one drop and an air bubble. That needle is way out there. Okay, this may be enough footage. I'm going to pull it down so, see how just its tips in there? A little further because there's still fluid right there. Sweet spot. Oh, rats, it's dripping. Okay, I'm making that pliers method look really good. Hollow point, draw. Okay, air back in. Maybe I should have just left the air be. Okay, I've got one more vial with a couple of drops. I can't believe I wasted those drops though. $80 a vial. I'm not even sure if I have 7 days for Frankie. We're at 2.7 approximately. I've got one more at the bottom of my bag with a drop or two in it, and then I'm just going to have to go ahead and do the other one. But you get the gist of what I'm doing. I am holding it upside down. OMG, there's the cap. I am holding it upside down and holding the vial flat, and then putting the hollow point of the needle in there until there's zero fluid left in the vial. It doesn't pull off the lid, and a few drops do leak out, but from what I'm seeing, the other way they're doing it, pouring it into each other, that also makes stuff leak. I'm going to grab my old vial of Capella because I had a couple of drops left in there, but that won't be enough either. I'm going to have to dig into a new one.
I have to go.
Yes, you do.
Can I stop it?
Here's the last one with the last couple of drops. Great, that one just hit the ground. Jesus, don't let me get Frankie sick. I'm trying to keep my hands perfectly clean. It's up to you. This will show it a second time on camera. Now, you note There's a slight bubble in here, which will be more than enough for a couple of drops. And I'm going to tilt it to the side this time. Put in the hollow point till just, yeah, pop it back out so that it just shows, and hope those expletive wasps don't ruin everything. Or any other stinging, biting insect. There's the hollow point. Yeah, just barely in there. Okay, sweet. You see how there's just like a tiny amount left here. Push that air up. And we're back. Drain the fluid out. And we're down to 3 milliliters. Okay, I'm still going to be pulling 0.2 out of the other vial. This will not be a full 7-day supply. And there's a slight bead, either left over from last one or I don't know. Let's pull the needle out slowly, see if I can't get it down to where it pulls into the hollow. The last of the fluid. This takes a lot of skill. You got to watch the needle point exactly. If you look at it, if you're able to see that needle, put your glasses on if your eyes aren't strong enough, or use a magnifying glass, but that hollow point of the bore. That's where you want it, to where it'll drain into there. And I'm going to tilt it. There's like a drop left. Back in. One more time. Now, human beings on insulin, if you can do this safely, I strongly encourage you. You don't have to pull the lids off the vials this way. But it is a little maddening because you got to shove it back in a couple times to get that needle into perfect position to draw out the absolute last drop. And we're actually above where Frankie needs to be. Yeah, we're right at the sweet spot of 3.2 estimate. So I don't have to dig into a fresh vial. And I have exactly a drop left. Okay, Chrissy, hit stop.